Since the beginnings of Kevin Rudd's term as Prime Minister, the Communications Minister Stephen Conroy has proposed and attempted to introduce legislation for mandatory filtering of Australia's networks. This internet censorship initiative has been named Clean Feed, and this project will attempt to filter content deemed inappropriate by the government from being accessible within Australia's networks.
I don't think that's true.
With all due respect, John, I am head of IT, and I have it on good authority. If you type Google into Google, you can break the internet, so please, no one try it, even for a joke. It's not a laughing matter, you can break the internet.
Banned content will be organised and catalogued by a blacklist, the government will solely control. The intentions of this project are to censor all pro-bestiality and child pornography web content.
Censorship is strictly the review by an authority of any material before publication or dissemination.
This raises questions about freedom of speech and delegation of power to governments. If it was a matter of public interest, they could shut down Facebook or Twitter. Would you be comfortable with that? A government who exercises these powers needs transparency.
Leading professionals in the industry claim that there are numerous technical flaws involved with this plan, such as the necessary infrastructure to implement this and the ramifications on our internet speeds.
Australia's rural internet services are substandard as it is. This initiative will be putting rural communities even further behind the pack of Australia, and Australia even further behind the pack of the rest of the world.
Australian police report a large majority of child sex material is not distributed online. It is distributed across private VPN and peer-to-peer networks, which will not be affected by the technology being implemented to enforce Clean Feed, which can only target illegal content published on public websites.
This filter could lull many parents into a false sense of security, as it will not block materials such as pornography or excessive violence, only material that is not already accessible by other means. For example, the sale of X-rated DVDs, magazines, and MA-rated games means that none of this content will be filtered from the internet.
The blacklist is confidential and not released to the public. It will primarily be controlled by a central government body, which could suffer from biases based on the party and their desire for popularity with certain demographics.
Most importantly, any determined user, including children, could bypass the filter quickly and easily using an anonymizer service, an open proxy, or a VPN connection. This task has been simplified for normal end users and is within the capabilities of any child, let alone criminal.
For all its flaws, the implementation of the internet filter has good intentions, attempting to rid the exposure of people to illegal and immoral activities like bestiality, rape, terrorist acts, crime, sexual violence, and child pornography.
Removing such things from the internet is a no-brainer. Implementing this filter could ensure websites which are distributing this material to be inaccessible.
Some of these websites may obtain material from within Australia and then publicly distribute it. Removing access to these sites could reduce incentive for people committing acts deemed illegal or wrong.
While a private blacklist is controversial, the government has good reasons for not publicly releasing the blacklist, as it becomes a publicised source of illegal content, something that only promotes the behaviour they aim to mitigate in the first place. To try and ensure fair and regulated blacklisting, the government have opened invitations for industry professionals and retired judges to review the list intermittently on the public's behalf.
Instead of a national firewall, the focus could be centred on a program of social change and education. In 2010, Microsoft Australia conducted a survey and found 65% of Australians take no action to filter their web content at home.
Programs of awareness about what people can potentially be exposed to online could change that statistic, making parents more aware of what their kids could be looking at, and consequently, it could have the positive effect of parents taking more responsibility for what they're enabling their children to access.
Our society is also ill-equipped to handle, understand, and rehabilitate people with fixations towards inappropriate content. This issue must be dealt with in regards to the individuals responsible for the behaviour, not their medium of distribution. When we take away the demand in a healthy way, the supply is negated and content becomes non-existent. This campaign of awareness and rehabilitation has the effect of creating a society that is aware of, understands, and knows how to deal with dangerous and inappropriate mediums, and in turn, heals us as a people.
Another method is the development and free distribution of home firewall software. This sort of software will be approved by the government, built and designed by developers who could have kits of their own, and would allow people to customize the level of censorship they would like to enforce in their own homes.
The advantages of this are that it negates the bottleneck on our country's internet connections and allows the people who are actually going to use this software to have an input on its features and capabilities.
In addition to this, the software can even be released as open source, with code freely available. This would allow passionate individuals to work on features that they and their community want to see. And as with the Linux community, we could see exponential growth in both the quality and capability of the software.
Do we want Australia to join a censorship club in which countries like Burma, North Korea and China are the founding members? Will it filter material on sexual health, drug use and topics such as breastfeeding? Topics such as anorexia have already been touted by government as topics worthy of filtering.
Censoring the internet to mitigate child pornography is like regulating and registering the sales of digital cameras, as both are tools used to produce and transfer the material. This does not address the problem at hand, it simply stems the means.
Our suggested solutions, when used in conjunction, will give people both the education and the means to change what they are exposed to online. This way, we shouldn't just stop the supply of inappropriate content, we would also destroy the demand while still maintaining an environment where the government helps the people rather than taking away their freedom to communicate.